And ladies and gentlemen, the first of our two drivers who will appear following today's interesting day interrupted by weather is Takuma Sato, new team for Takuma this year. Pretty good effort, third fastest overall, and I looked at your no-toe speed. That was good, and you got that work done really in kind of a handful of laps.
It was quite good day. Very productive, I must admit. Because walking cars over the platform, 6 cars we have, and working quite seamlessly. So we share the most of the data together, and again all the speed. So obviously overall speed is sometimes a little artificial, as some people get told, but it was obviously good to see we all up there, especially non-tow up, which is a true speed, and I'm pretty happy. It looks like I'm 8th quickest in no-tow up, which is, I take it, considering the condition today and where we were in terms of the car setup. I'm feeling better and actually enjoying the working all together with Andretti Autosport. So it's definitely, this is the best situation or environment compared to past few years of my experience in Indy 500 towards to the qualify. This is a good preparation. It's nicely comes up all coming together.
Yeah, again, pretty impressive in those 23 laps. We'll open up for questions for Takuma. I know I have one if no one does it immediately.
Taku, obviously you know all about the challenges of coming from Formula One into IndyCar. What do you make of Fernando Alonso's progress, the speed he's shown? It's pretty impressive from the outside, so I guess from the inside you'd have a better view of things.
Yeah, I think it's very impressive. Although it's kind of what you expected, what we expected, to be honest, and because obviously Fernando is no doubt about one of the best driver, and in the world, and having had this much over practice time, and all the support from the team and the friends and teammate, of course, I think expected to be up to speed very quickly, and indeed he did. And obviously today is something new for him again, full boost. The Fast Friday, you break through the 230 miles per hour first time, but he did driving extremely well, of course, and actually the feedback is it's a proper feedback. So we talk same language every single day after the debrief. So although he's learning, but he can feel it in the same ways, and his engineer Eric has got obviously tons of experience with it in the big team. So we're pretty happy, and nice to work with him, in the same team, and extra attention from the team for our, from our side. That's always good for the Michael. So we are very happy.
And we bring in the gentleman who was the fastest overall, picked up an additional $10,000, and who has been in victory lane this year with Daly Coyne Racing, Sebastien Bourdais. Always good to see you, Sebastien. And much like we mentioned with Taco, we looked at your speed, we looked at your no-toe speed, and pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, there's never a bad day, right, when you're at the front. So definitely really happy with the way things turned out. Obviously, we had a bit of another issue yesterday and threw a freshie in the car early this morning, and it was on the money right away. So, that was pretty pleasing, and the car felt good. And we tried a couple of different things and finished the session really happy with the speed and the car balance. So hopefully it stays that way. It's a tricky place. So when you get any sense of consistency through different conditions, sunny, shade, different track temps, different humidity, different wind, it's obviously always gives you confidence. You never know what's going to come at you the next day, and I think tomorrow is going to be another example of that. So Sunday might be pretty tricky as well. So we'll just hopefully be able to deal with those conditions very well, and make it happen when it matters, because this is obviously awesome, and I can't thank Dale and Craig and Olivier and all the mechanics and everybody, but Craig was the first one to tell me, yeah, well, let's do it when it matters on Saturday and Sunday, so it's pretty exciting just to be in the mix, knowing that we seemingly have a chance to do well in qualifying, because really every other time I've been there, I've never been in contention to really be any kind of factor, and that's just boring. So when you're in that position where you know that there's going to be something you can do to actually play at the front, then hopefully it happens because it's a heck of a lot more fun.
It's always interesting for non-racers to consider going that fast in Indianapolis boring, but I do understand your point. Questions for either of our two drivers?
This is for both of you guys. Earlier today, we heard Juan and Graham mention that qualifying here is not as important in terms of winning the races. Obviously, for you guys in accumulating points, it's important. But how much stock do you put into qualifying, and do you feel like if you didn't do all that well, would it matter?
Well, I think yeah. I mean, you can win from the back of the grid for sure, but being in front is obviously minimize the risk and any possible damage area part of the race, and there's always advantage. I think it'd been third row, let's say top 9. Wouldn't be much difference, but nice to be in the front row. But I think risk on award again. Sunday the final 5 o'clock top 9, the practice. Looking at that, obviously last year was very excited. So does every single year, but to go to the full pole, you have to have a full commitment as well as some risky maneuver, not maneuver, but risky setup. So that's a really driver and teams all just combination. But if you're in top 6, top 9, I wouldn't be really better. If I have opportunity, yes, of course, go for it. But other than that, it'd be nice. The being back, huge turbulence at the start of the race. That's very difficult, and working away, you have 200 laps to do it. So, I guess everything is possible here.
Yeah, same thing. I'm just going to echo, Taku. I think we've seen Ryan when he won. He started at the back, something like that. So he just went through the field in the first stint. So when the car is awesome in race trim, then it really doesn't matter where you're qualifying. So it's great if you do qualify at the front because it's exposure for your sponsors and the team and rewarding for all their hard work. And like you said, there are points involved. It's almost a race win when you're on pole. So it's been hurting us pretty good for the last few years, and hopefully we can collect a few good ones on Sunday. But as far as the race is concerned, it's pretty irrelevant.
Seb, how have you kind of maintained a positive attitude in spite of some of the setbacks you've had in the last week? It's kind of abnormal when you have 2 engine issues in the same time frame. So how have you been able to stay positive going into qualifying?
I just have days like that. It's what this season's been for us so far. We've had really good days and really pretty terrible days. So, but the good thing is, when we're given the opportunity, we seem to make the best of it, and the car is quick, and we're having a good time. So. It's racing. You're always going to have ups and downs, and you just keep plugging away and just do your thing. And, eventually, hopefully, it all averages out and you get more good days than bad ones.
For both of you, it seems that the drivers work very hard at getting a good race car for a week from Sunday. But once you start the race, how many options do you have when do you find out, I don't know how much you can do to make the car different in order to get it better and better each time you pit? Are you pretty limited?
Yes and no, to be honest. I mean, fundamentally, you can't change the springs and stuff like that. So fundamentally, you're stuck. But you still have some tools, which is anti-shoulders and front and rear and weight jackers in terms of the cockpit side point of view. But of course, the front wing adjustment, and some teams does the rear wing adjustment. So otherwise, once you set up the right height correctly, we should be corrected by Sunday. But then you can pretty much do everything. Plus the tire pressure thing is one of the other tools, not only for the maximize the grip, but also you can depressures and lighten ref and then making not artificially but physically making different cross weight, not but only because the weight checker. So you can still play the pressures, front wing, rear wing. Pretty much that's the only things you can, and rest of it I think we have to live with it, right?
Yeah, I mean I've been with bad cars and I've never turned them into gold during the race. It's either it's good or it's bad, and you can get a bad car to being drivable and average, but you can't turn it into a good car. So, it's got to be close.
But also, I have to say there is some track revolution too, as well as wind direction change or wind pickup or dying or the temperatures overshadow, and then these are extremely sensitive. So some car working better, some cars not. So we have to really think about like forward thinking that we have to make a last 30, 50 laps or let's say last stint and make it the best out of it. So first few stint is just feel out the car, even you're dragging too much downforce, but then just come to you. That sort of strategy is probably what you need.
Questions? One more for Sebastien for you, as you talked about what the weather, the things we've dealt with. I know it's not fun for a driver to have to deal with so many things, but to prepare for the race, if you've seen so many different conditions, in some sense, isn't that a good way to sort of get yourself set up for the race?
Yeah, I think the best car is the car that doesn't go away from you, when the conditions change, because if you cannot predict everything, and it's always different. The last time you're on track is Carb Day, it's a quick time, and the real last time you're on track, it's Monday. And so, between the Monday and the Sunday, everything can change. The wind, the temperature, ambient and track and sun and this and that. And so, really, a good car is a versatile car. It's just something that you can be competitive and then adjust from there. But if it's just in a little box that it works, and then as soon as the track time goes up, you're just nowhere, then it's pretty difficult to make it work. So. It's also usually the car that allows you to be pretty good in 10 deep and in traffic, and between that car and a car that's only good between behind one or two cars. So there's a lot of variables in the race, and the better car and the car that usually wins is the car that goes through all these conditions better than others.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we're all in the same boat, in the same box. So what you get is what you get. So we're gonna be pretty hot in the car anyway. So, but I would choose rather like 80-ish temperatures for the spectators. Because if it's over 100, I know it's gonna be hard for them to watching 3 hours racing under the sun. So it'd be nice to be a little cooler, breathe airs, and then enjoy your race.
I know that a lot of the fans want to see the full show of qualifications, but if weather dictates it ends up being just one time through for everybody, are you okay with that?
If we P1, yeah. I mean, it's the thing, right? I mean, you're always happy if the thing is a taker, if it's in your favor. If you have a miserable first attempt and you're not making the fast 9, then you for sure want to get another shot, but that you don't always decide. So, like I said, that's why we'll take whatever comes at us, but you can't control much with the weather, so you'll just have to make the best bet.
Sorry, what was the question?
If the weather interferes and it's just one time through as a competitor,
All right.
fine with that. In fact, you probably
I see.
prefer that.
Okay, well, nice to have some options for sure. Be nice to have a second attempt. Having said, I never done a second attempt, so I'm okay with that. Everybody in the same condition, I believe.
Other questions? Congratulations on a good day, guys.
Thank you.
See you again.
Thank you.